I've managed over $140 million as a financial planner. I have won 5 Plutus Awards based on my ability to teach people personal finance, especially investing. However, despite all of that, the number one question is, how do I get started investing in the stock market? That's the exact question that I'm going to help you with today. How do you get started with your first $1,000? But we have to address the elephant in the room. The biggest mistake that I have seen with my nearly 16 years of experience is people jumping directly into the deepest end of the pool. And I honestly, no, not even the pool, the ocean. You gotta learn in the small end of the pool, the kiddie pool first, and then we slowly drift out to the deep end, and then we'll drift off into the ocean where you can do whatever it is that you want to do. Today, we're gonna start off in the shallow end of the pool, get you ready to then go out into the ocean. All right, so let's go ahead and start. The first thing you need to do is get your expectations in line. Your expectations is what will get you burned when it comes to the stock market and investing as a whole. I've met with so many people who say, hey, I want to invest in the stock market. I know it's important to invest in the stock market, and 2 things will happen, and it's all based on expectations. Number 1, well, really 3 if you want to go there. But number 1, they expect that it's going to be what they see on TV. You got a whole bunch of screens, it's going to be super complex. You got to be in it and be like some special day trader where you're buying and selling all the time. That ain't true. And then number 2 is the fact that you think you're going to make 20 or 30 or even 50% all the time. There are some chances where, yeah, you absolutely can make some money, and we got some videos on those things, which we will get to, but that's not always the case. You want to expect very boring growth. If you have ever watched grass grow, that's where I want you to be. Very boring. You should not look to your investments as entertainment. You want your investments to be boring. You want them to sit in the background and grow for you, because that is the best place to be. People who look at it as entertainment are usually those who lose money. And the reason why is because they keep playing with it, and they make a mistake. Do not look at your portfolio, your collection of stocks, as entertainment. Go watch Netflix for entertainment. Go watch Disney Plus for entertainment. Do not look at your stock market. Do not look at the stock market or your stocks as your entertainment. That is not what it is for. All right, so that's the first thing to get out of the way. The next thing is to open an account. Now you have a lot of options here. I'll go through each of them. I'll slow down just a little bit so that you can open one or more of these. I'll talk a little bit about the pros and the cons, and then we'll kind of graduate a little bit deeper into the pool. All right. The first one is the 401k. You also have what is called a Roth 401k. I'll talk a little bit about Roth and what that means here in a sec. 401k is one of the more popular ones. It started in the 1970s and 80s. You have to have a regular 9-to-5 job to do this, unless you are someone who owns your own business and you balling like that. You can have a solo 401k. But for the average person, you have to have a 9-to-5. You have a lot of money that you can put into it, and I would argue these are the most powerful accounts, one of the most powerful accounts, because you can put the most money into it. These are pre-tax, which means that if I put $10,000 in it, I can put the money in there and I don't have to pay no taxes until I withdraw the money. Now, any pre-tax account means that you get to put the money in there, no taxes on it until you withdraw. That withdrawal date, or age rather, is 59 and a half. That's just how the account works. These accounts are not investments in and of itself. Just because you have a 401k doesn't really mean anything. That is not the investment. That is the box. That is the container that your investments will go in. That's why we're talking about the container first before we talk about the investments in and of itself. All right. So that is just the basics. And again, any pre-tax account pretty much has those basic rules. If you withdraw money before, in most cases, not all, you have to pay a 10% penalty to the IRS, and then you have to pay taxes. Not fun. It gotta be a major emergency as to why you need to do that. All right. So you got your 401k. IRA, that's for individuals. I just had one on my own, and that is one that also has a limit to how much money you can put into it, but it does very similar to what a 401k can do. Now, the difference between an IRA and a 401k, one difference, there are other minute ones, but one of them is my employer, right, if I have a 9-to-5 job, can also add money into it. They can do what's called a match, meaning I put 10% and they put another 5%. Great for me. I will absolutely take that. That is almost free money. I say almost because I still gotta work. That costs me time. So it's not completely free, but it is a thing. Okay. But with an individual retirement account, it's individual. It's just me. Ain't nobody matching it but me. Okay. Both of those accounts do have limits. You can only put in but so much. Every few years, the IRS does just update those. Right. So we've got two, right? 401k, IRA. Then you can have what is called a Roth, right? A Roth IRA or a Roth 401k. You can have all four of these all at the same time. Okay. But these are after tax accounts, which means you've already been taxed on this money. You already got paid, right? You already got the gross pay. They already taxed you. Now you got the net. Okay, you get to put money into these accounts, and you get to take money out whenever you want to. But the beauty is, as this money grows, it gets to grow tax-free. So you put money in, so you put in $5,000 and it grows to 10. That growth piece, you do not get to touch without a penalty, right? So don't touch the growth. But if I put in the 5, I can take out the 5 whenever I want. If it grows to 10, that means I have that extra 5. You don't want to touch that until after 59.5, right? You can have a Roth 401k if it is offered. You can have a Roth IRA. There are income limits currently on the Roth IRA, okay? So we have 401k, Roth 401k, IRA, Roth IRA. Okay, so we got those 4 options. Then you have a 5th. Okay, we're doing kiddie pool version, so we're only gonna stick with these 5. Okay, the 5th one is what is called a regular brokerage account. Now, brokerage account, investment account, whatever it is you want to call it. It is just a basic account. The beauty here, and this is one of the most versatile accounts, it is a regular account that has no limits on how much money you can put into it. You can put money into it, you can take money out. That's it. Now, why is that special and important? Is because other ones you can put money into it and you're not taxed until X time. You can take money out and all these rules. You ain't gotta do that with a brokerage account. You can put in as much money as you want. You want to take money out tomorrow, you absolutely can. And that's great because if I am investing for down the road and trying to build up all this wealth, well, I can use the brokerage account now, right? As I'm in my 30s, and use that and grow that and do whatever I want as I'm putting all the other money into my long-term stuff. And I kind of build these things and kind of stack these things in order and then withdraw them at a certain time. Once you're done with the kiddie pool version, then you can check out this video right here and we'll talk about that down the line. In the meantime though, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as we move forward. All right, so now you have those 5 account options. Can you have all of these at the same time? In most cases, yes. There are income limits on the Roth IRA. That's about it. The reason why I'm not giving you the exact numbers is because those income limits do change. So I don't want to tell you one and then a year later somebody writes in all caps that I was wrong. Okay, the income limits do change. All right, so now you know what your expectations are. You know what the accounts are. Where should you go to open these accounts? Guess what? Easiest way to do it, I'll put a pinned comment down below. Those are my favorite ones. There you go. And I'll keep updating that so that it is current to what I'm liking right now. Boom. Simple. There you go. All of those are current investing apps that I do like. If it's not on there, I do not like it today, right? So that is what we have right there. Now, what do you invest in? Let's say you have an IRA. Let's say you have a brokerage account. You know what the expectations are. Now you need to invest in something. You need to buy something in that account to allow it to grow, right? That is called an investment, right? That is a stock or something called an ETF, an exchange traded fund. Those are not the only things. Again, kiddie pool version here. The vast majority of people who are watching this video should start off with what is called an index fund. An index fund tracks the performance of the stock market as a whole. So the US stock market, usually considered the S&P 500, the largest 500 companies in the US. If it does well, this fund does well. Let's just make it super simple. That's usually what I would say 85% of us want to start out with. It's not the only thing that you need. There's a level 2 here that we're gonna get to here in a sec. But that's what most of us want to start. To do that, once you log into whatever app you're looking at, you want to, and I'll have some sort of screen share here, you'll put in what is called a ticker symbol. For example, one is called VTI, all right? It's just one example. You'll type that in, it'll pop up, right? You'll click it and you'll put in how much money you wanna put in there. So let's say $500, $700, whatever it is, you'll hit buy and boom, you have invested your first $1,000, $500, whatever it is. If you want to go and buy your first stock, let's say, I don't know, NVIDIA, right? You will type in NVDA into that box, the ticker symbol for it, and then you can decide how much you want to buy. That is how you do it, right? So now you can decide to buy. Now, if you want to learn how to research and figure out, hey, is this good for me to buy or not? Guess what? I've already covered it. I have a whole video on how you can research stocks and understand whether they're good or not. That's why you want to subscribe to this channel. All right, so now you know that part. Let's move a little bit into level 2, because that's all you actually need to get started, to wade out into the pool version of investing, not the ocean. You not ready for the ocean just yet. You're not ready for the ocean, but you have gotten to, let's say 3 feet into the pool. Let's say you want to get to 4.5 feet. You've got the investing part, you know what it is and a few buttons to click. The next part is understanding what is your goal? What do you actually want to do? And I would argue this is extremely important, because that's what's going to tell you where to invest and what account is most important. If you said, hey, I just want to have extra income, I just want to, make some money on the side, then that would just be a brokerage account. If you said, I want to build long-term wealth, I want to retire, then that is more of a 401k. That is more of the retirement accounts. Anything with the IR, retirement, A, retirement accounts, individual retirement accounts, that's where the money should be. Your goals are going to determine what accounts, your goals are going to determine what investments are for you. How old are you? Those things are going to help determine what investments fit and what investments do not fit. You got to sit down and figure out what goals you have, because working that way, going backwards, is extremely important. One mistake that people make is they just want to invest and just do stuff. But the goals are extremely important, because if you're trying to invest and grow your money for a house, and you're trying to buy a house in 5 years, what you invest in is different than somebody who's trying to make $1 million in 30 years. Two completely different things, two completely different investments, and two completely different investment accounts too. So that is why level 2 is understanding what your goals are. Yes, you have the basics, figure out what your goals are so we can really dial it in on what you should be investing in. And then we get to what we call allocation. Allocation is really how much money are you putting in to the things that you're investing in. Let's go back to our example earlier. You bought something like VTI. That's the Vanguard Total Stock Market Index Fund. Cool, right? And let's say that you went and got NVIDIA. All right. Well, if you have $1,000, should it be 500 and 500, or should it be 900 and 100? Those can actually give you way different returns over time. It makes a difference. It absolutely makes a difference. Or what happens if you put 900 in NVIDIA and just 100 into VTI? It matters how you allocate those funds, and you want to do what is called dollar cost averaging, adding a regular amount. You almost never just want to invest one time and call it a day. The true magic of investing is continuing to put in money on a schedule. So whether it's 2 weeks, whether it's monthly, whatever cadence works for you, that is where you truly start to see that compounding. But once you know your goals, that is going to help you to figure out how that allocation is going to work for you. Because if I'm just looking at the super simple example, putting more money into VTI is more conservative. It's going to be safer. It's going to have less risk than putting more money into just one company and hoping that company continues to do well. But also, I would have made more money. I would have made a lot more money putting it more in NVIDIA than what I would across 500 or more companies. That depends on what your goal is here, right? You got to decide, what is my goal? Is it just to make as much money as possible, or is it to take as little risk as possible? Because if that's the case, I would invest in something completely different. So those are the things that you need to do. Understand your expectations, open the account, choose the investments that you're looking to buy, understand what your goals are, and then decide what your allocation is going to be. If you want to know more about the stock market and perhaps what you should invest in right now, then you want to check out these videos right here.